Since last year, under the guidance of Xi Jinping, thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, the PLA has thoroughly implemented Xi Jinping thought on strengthening the military and acted on a people-centered philosophy of development.
The Chinese military has taken an active part in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic, made all-around efforts to step up military preparedness, supported the battle against poverty, and advanced international military cooperation in the new era in more creative ways, thus contributing to the realization of the Chinese dream of national rejuvenation and the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. In response to the outbreak of COVID-19, Chinese President Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the Communist Party of China Central Committee, and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, issued a call for concerted efforts to win the battle of epidemic prevention and control.
这场疫情防控斗争对我军是一次大考，人民军队听党指挥，闻令而动，在疫情防控斗争中发挥了重要作用，做出了突出贡献。
We put the people's interests first. Nothing is more precious than people's lives. The PLA resolutely delivered on the orders of the CPC Central Committee, the Central Military Commission, and President Xi, and honored the trust of the party and the people by fighting the hard battles of the epidemic prevention and control, one after another. Over 10,000 military medical staff inside and outside Hubei province were deployed in the fight against the epidemic. They spared no efforts to save lives and safeguard the public's health, and have made prominent contributions in this all-out people's war against COVID-19 outbreak. The virus knows no territorial boundaries, nor is race or nationality relevant in the face of the disease. In his speech at the opening of the 73rd World Health Assembly, President Xi Jinping laid out China's clear position to boost international cooperation against the pandemic. When China was at its critical moments to fight COVID-19, defense and military leaders from more than 20 countries, including Pakistan, Belarus, and Cambodia, rendered support through letters. The defense departments and armed forces of Trinidad and Tobago, Mongolia, Singapore, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, Cambodia, etc., provided urgent epidemic prevention supplies and funds to China. Many military attachés and international students in China offered their best wishes to China via video clips or letters, expressing their willingness to stand with us in this testing time. You throw a peach to me, and I give you a white jade for friendship. As the pandemic raged through the world, the CMC leaders returned the favor of the international community through communication with defense or military leaders of more than 30 countries or international organizations, including the ROK, Russia, Italy, the US, and the EU through correspondence or telephone calls. Additionally, the PLA carried out active international cooperation with many foreign defense authorities and militaries to combat the pandemic. Efforts were made to send military medical expert teams to Pakistan, Myanmar, Laos, and Cambodia, provide supplies to militaries of over 50 countries including Pakistan, Russia, Thailand, Ethiopia, Argentina, Belarus, etc., via Air Force aircraft. Hold video conferences to share experience with the militaries of over 10 countries including Russia, Indonesia, and South Africa, etc. The Chinese military has contributed China strength to the building of a global community of health for all. Military training and combat readiness cannot be neglected under any circumstances. On January 2, 2020, President Xi Jinping issued an order motivating all service members to step up military training. Troops of the PLA Army, Navy, Air Force, Rocket Force, and the PAP acted upon the order immediately and have since been engaging in intense training on the snow-covered plateau, into the dense southern forest, across the northwestern desert, and in the southeast coastal areas. In the face of the epidemic, the PLA has stayed vigilant against worst-case scenarios and endeavored to explore methods to bolster training while following the epidemic prevention and control routines, enhance military preparedness, and carry out realistic training in feasible ways. The Chinese military has managed to keep its training, administration, and combat readiness on track, and responded promptly and effectively to all complex situations with a view to resolutely safeguarding national sovereignty, security, and development interests, and maintaining the strategic stability of the country. Chinese President Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the Communist Party of China Central Committee and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, delivers an important speech at a symposium on securing a decisive victory in poverty alleviation on March 6, 2020. President Xi stressed that lifting all rural residents living below the current poverty line out of poverty by 2020 is a solemn promise made by the CPC Central Committee to the Chinese people, and it must be fulfilled on time. The Chinese military has comprehensively implemented the decisions and instructions of the CPC Central Committee, the Central Military Commission, and President Xi Jinping, and played an active role in a variety of campaigns of targeted poverty alleviation. The Chinese military has altogether provided targeted assistance to 924,000 poor people from 293,000 households in 4,100 impoverished villages, becoming an important force on the special battlefield against poverty. Over the past year, under the guidance of Xi Jinping, Thought on Socialism with Chinese Characteristics for a New Era, the People's Armed Forces have thoroughly implemented Xi Jinping thought on strengthening the military, responded faithfully to the call for a community with a shared future for mankind, actively fulfilled their international obligations as the armed forces of a major country, comprehensively promoted international military cooperation for the new era, and striven for a better world of lasting peace and common security. On October 18, 2019, President Xi Jinping met with foreign defense and military leaders and the leading officials of the International Military Sports Council, attending the opening ceremony of the 7th CISM Military World Games, and announced the opening of the Games at the ceremony. More than 9,300 military athletes from 109 countries took part in the competition in Wuhan, writing "Military Glory and World Peace" into the new chapter of the CISM Games. The 9th Beijing Xiangshan Forum was held from October 20th to 22nd, 2019. President Xi Jinping sent a congratulatory message to the forum. Over 1,300 senior defense officials, military leaders, experts, and scholars from home and abroad held discussions on the theme of maintaining international order and promoting peace in the Asia-Pacific. From September 30th to October 24th, 2019, an exhibition entitled "Embracing the World for Peace" was held in the Military Museum of the Chinese People's Revolution to celebrate China's achievements in international military cooperation over the 70 years since the founding of the People's Republic of China. Over the past year, China has participated in military training exercises and contests jointly held with countries and regions including Russia, South Africa, Iran, Germany, ASEAN, and the US. These engagements have effectively honed capabilities of the troops, deepened friendship, and enhanced mutual trust. As a responsible major country, China shoulders an important duty of safeguarding world peace and stability, the Chinese military actively participates in the UN peacekeeping operations, vessel protection operations, and international efforts in HADR. It is committed to providing more public security goods to the international community. On June 24, 2020, the PLA Honor Guard attracted global attention when they made their appearance in the Red Square of Russia. That demonstrated China's determination to join hands with the Russian side and the international community in securing the victory of the world anti-fascist war and maintaining world peace.
中国人民解放军和人民武装警察部队要永保人民军队性质、宗旨、本色，坚决维护国家主权、安全、发展利益，坚决维护世界和平。